Sponsorship deals absolutely cut, wages out of control, staff inept at doing their job at Manchester United. It's no wonder that INEOS have moved fast and moved forward with everything going on right now. More detail as to why Barada and Jean-Claude Blanc are in situ working together as it is now. It's like Jean-Claude Blanc is actually the voice and the action of Barada right now. We're going to get into details on what is going on at Manchester United. It's time to stop the messing. It's time to get down to business. INEOS have had their meeting with staff today. They've laid out the plans for the future of Manchester United and what is next. What is next? Well, I think it's quite clear. We're going to go into detail on what Manchester United's state of affairs is right now and why INEOS are having to move so fast. More and more details have come out on what's going on with the likes of Adidas, what's going on with the wage bill. We're going to look into all of that, get your opinions on all of that as well. We've got some transfer news as well. We're going to get your opinions on and all other news and updates going on around Manchester United this evening, guys. Welcome to the show. I'm Adam. This is Forever United TV. Welcome along, people. Sorry I stuttered at the start there. I was just looking through some facts and figures and it was like, what the actual... Yeah, I'm going to tell you now anyway. Get your comments in the live section. And obviously make sure you give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. And let's get going, guys, shall we? 2 new members in the house already. Thank you, Jordan, for donating them. I've popped up some comments in the comment section for you guys as well to welcome you into the members club. Tonight will be a short show because obviously there's no Kaz in the house tonight, guys. Her final is straight after this show and I'm shooting right off, guys, so it's going to be around about the half an hour mark, guys, but we're going to get through as much detail as possible in that half an hour. And starting with Omar Barada's position, very clear, coming in to take over from Jean-Claude Blanc. Why is Jean-Claude Blanc there? The communication from INEOS is that they want someone in situ right now to fast forward everything that they need doing before the start of the window. We touched on all of that this morning. Manchester United's wage bill. Oh, dear God. Like, seriously. It is the 3rd biggest in Europe. Like, there's only 2 clubs ahead of Manchester United when it comes to wage bills right now. Like, literally everyone ahead of Manchester United in the Premier League table are under us. It's absolutely ludicrous. This is what is going to be slashed this summer. There's only Paris Saint-Germain and Real Madrid who have got a higher wage bill than Manchester United. And you know why that is. Like, PSG's is obvious. There's one man there that's on astronomical money. And what they've had to do to attract players to PSG is give them big wage packets. So we know why they are. We know the amount of players that are at Real Madrid. They attract the Galacticos. They attract the big name players. That's why their wage bills are high. But for Manchester United to be 3rd on that list with the crap squad that we have got, and let's be honest, when we're comparing to the likes of Real Madrid, the rest of the teams in the Premier League above us, like, our squad is absolutely horrendous compared. And the money that we are forking out to players is absolutely ridiculous. Jean-Claude Blanc is in to carry out the work that can be done now in sorting futures out for certain players going forward. Him and Omar Barada will then switch roles and then they will work together to work on the commercial side of Manchester United as well as all of the contract and player situations going on at the football club. They have big jobs between them to sort out. And do you know what? I'm really not afraid of what's about to happen. Like, we talked about it this morning, like, we have to just let go. And you know what? There's some people going to lose out at Manchester United with what's going on at the football club. Do we care as the main source of income to this football club? There's news today about Manchester United's Adidas deal. I want to get into that, and that's seen as United's biggest source of revenue. Well, I say no, that's crap, because the only reason they've got that source of revenue is because of the fans who buy the shirts, the fans who go to the games, the fans who want to invest in Manchester United. Therefore, bumping up the price for Adidas to give United the best sponsorship deal that is out there. That has been slashed by 15 million, so that £90 million year deal that Adidas are paying, there's reports that that is going to be cut to 75 million, 15 million less. In truth, the Football Insider reads as this: the deal between United and their kit manufacturer Adidas has had its value slashed by 15 million, according to reports. United, at the end of last July, signed a new 10-year deal with the sportswear giant worth a world record 900 million across the course of the agreement. The deal was worth at least 90 million per season, adding financial security from what is the club's biggest source of revenue. However, failing to qualify for the Champions League next season, it is reported United will only earn 75 million in the agreement this season. You know what? It pains me to actually see United losing money, because obviously it hampers what we're actually doing in progressing and how much we can actually spend. But half of me as a fan is just like, that good. Do you know what? You need your asses slapping for that crap where you've run Manchester United over the last few years. It's an absolute joke. Manchester United's wage bill, like 3.7 million a week. Holy crap. Like, we talked about what Manchester United are going to be saving with the likes of Martial, Varane. Like, the players that are leaving that are on decent wages for definite this summer are Martial, Varane, Tom Heaton, Brandon Williams and Sofiane Amrabat. All deals ended. No extra contracts, no extension of loans, nothing, gone. They are all off the wage bill. That's a massive, massive chunk. And this is why we said it yesterday when Bruno Fernandes was talking, and the radio was picking up on this today. Bruno Fernandes is talking, and this is the agents now. INEOS are digging their heels, and they're already getting their feet well and truly under the table at Manchester United. And this is what Jean-Claude Blanc is in for now. This is a full-on, no-nonsense approach. It's like they've got angry all of a sudden, INEOS, and I've just gone, right, that's it. The interview with Bruno Fernandes yesterday and him talking about his future at all. Like, Bruno Fernandes loves this football club. Like, he would be the first player on my list to come out and say there's no chance I'm moving anywhere else. But for him to even mention the thought or mention the words of leaving Manchester United after this season, something's going on behind the scenes. I'm fully convinced that this is INEOS, the INEOS effect. Like, no one is getting any more bumper deals. It's as simple as that. Sancho will be sold. Greenwood will be sold this summer. Cut price on the transfer fees, yes. But let's be honest, what do we have to make up? So we're losing out on what, 40 to 50 million in the Champions League. We're losing out on 15 million in the sponsorship deal with Adidas. We are basically going to get that covered by the sale of Greenwood and Jadon Sancho. But what we are saving a lot is that wage bill. That's what INEOS are going in for. That's what they are looking to slash. The day-to-day running of Manchester United is why we are 42 million in the red when we're turning over 650 million. That's what INEOS want to slash. Them minor gains that they always talk about, the way they approach everything, the way they approach all of their businesses that are being run down, they come in and salvage them and then start turning things around. This is the same as what it's going to be at Manchester United. And the biggest outlay, like 3.7 million a week. Oh my days. Like, it's more than Manchester City, and we've seen what they're getting. So Omar Barada is in situ right now. Like, if you are Barada and you're looking at the way he looks at deals, the way he looks at contract situations at Manchester City, the way he did it. So he was talking about the sell-on factor, the buy-in of players and like what you can get, the age of the player, the wages, constructing the package to make sure that it's profitable in the end and you're getting the player at the right age. If not, you need to make sure that player's on a certain amount of wage. This is everything that Manchester United have not been doing. So, for instance, let's look at the Bruno Fernandes situation. I'm only bringing him up simply because he was the one talking yesterday and he's at that age. 29, with 2 years left on his deal. Like, this would be for Omar Barada. If you gave him the keys to Manchester United's squad and the way he works, and he went and worked his magic and did what he did at Manchester City, then I think he would sell Bruno Fernandes for profit this summer. I do. That's just from Barada's side of things. Like, I do believe that we do need senior players at Manchester United, and I think Bruno will stay. I hope he stays. God. But that's how Barada would look at it if he was coming into a normally run football club. Say, for instance, Manchester United were competing. We had a decent structure in place like City have got. And Bruno Fernandes, 29, coming to the end of his deal. Like, this would be the time that he would sell Bruno Fernandes. Like, he is not... we don't have a big enough squad of valuable players to actually make money. So INEOS are in and they're putting Barada in charge of making Manchester United slimline, run like a well-oiled machine, finances in place and everything, like I said, everything running right, everything running at a profit from the player contract side of things. A man in complete control of what he does and has everything organised from top to bottom. I don't think a lot of Manchester United players survive. Alien 10 cheers for the super chat. Breaking news: United cut Alien Stellar supply. Heaven forbid, Alien. Heaven forbid. Never. That cannot happen. That's going too far. Everything else is all right, but that's too far, mate. They could actually just bring in a better beer at Old Trafford rather than Carling. That's one thing that they can do. But back onto Barada and what he's going to be doing. So, working alongside Jean-Claude Blanc, given... they pretty much have been given the reins to run Manchester United how they want. So, looking at that wage bill and what we're going to... literally, we're going to go from, 3.7 million a week. This summer, we could be cutting that in half. That's how drastic a work that INEOS are going to get to. That's what they are going to do. That's what they are planning to do. They're going to slash it in half and make Manchester United... I don't know how they're going to attract players in. Like we've said before, it's a full-on sell. Like, they're going to have to really PR stunt Manchester United to try and get people in right now. But that's where they're actually going with it. For Adidas to come out and cut that money as well, like, it just goes to show like where Manchester United's priorities were. Where were they? Like, this would have been the summer under the Glazers where we probably spent a little bit of money to get back into the Champions League again next season. There's no guarantee with the way that Manchester United have been and how far behind we have fallen with the work to do this summer that we are going to get back in the Champions League next season. When you counter in Villa, their money and their finances, the extra money that they're going to get from the Champions League, the fact that there is going to be a softened rule on PSR as the season goes through, and they could probably invest in January a little bit more. You've got that. You've got the top three, which we're miles away from anyway. There's the top four gone, basically. With Manchester United losing half the squad, you're not going to be able to integrate and make that style of play work straight away. So we're going to need that 3-year period. We're going to have to save where we're losing. So the money that we're losing from Adidas, there's no guarantee that that's not going to happen again next season, because I don't think Manchester United are in a position where we should be challenging for the top four if we're cutting all of these players out of our squad. You are not going to be able to buy a replacement for Rafael Varane and for Casemiro in one summer. You're not going to be able to do it. We have got players that will work to a certain level and will get us so far, but it's not Champions League right now. Who are we bringing in if money is so tight? That's the big question. That's the big issue and why these men are getting into work early at Manchester United. The wages is just off the scale stupid. The deals that are being cut, being out of the Champions League, United are losing buckets and buckets of money going into this season. And INEOS are there now to try and counter that by cutting costs, to try and balance it out. If they can bring that wage bill down, that's good, not just for balancing the books on what we've lost, bringing a bit of money and revenue to bring back up what we've lost there. That's what the aim is right now. So we know the players that we're looking to get rid of. The wage bill's taken care of this summer. Like, it's just going to be completely rinsed. And we're not going to have anywhere near what we've been spending. We're not going to be anywhere near the top of that table. Like, to be top of that Premier League table for wages spent, I kind of expect it, but I thought City might be higher. They're not. Like Real Madrid, PSG, the third highest wage bill in Europe. That's just on another planet. Another planet. Anyone got the list of free transfers? There is a few of them. Manchester United, and I want to get your thoughts, guys, on the players that we're looking at. I'm just going to run through all of the news now with you. I mean, when it comes to free transfers, Adebayo from Fulham, he is one that's being touted. Newcastle now in talks with him. So if he's on Newcastle's list, does that mean that we can't touch him because of Dan Ashworth? I don't know. I'm just scaremongering there and stuff like that. But yeah, he's an available centre-back that's going to be on a free. But, I mean, with everything else, Rabiot, another one. There I go there. Like, that news came out before and I was looking at the MEN and I went, do you know what? If we didn't have INEOS right now, Manchester United would fully be in for Rabiot. You know they would. They would be fully in for Rabiot. And that's a perfect signing this summer. That is the Christian Eriksen of the Glazers, the Glazer. And that's what this summer's freebie would have been. And it's ridiculous. It is, but we are not going to be buying Rabiot because we know his wage demands and we know that INEOS won't go near that. They're not going to get rid of a player on 250 grand a week to bring in a player on 250, that being Martial, in my opinion. I just think they're not going to go anywhere near it. So, yeah, in terms of like the 2 free players that just come to mind in positions that we need, you've got Rabiot, you've got Adebayo from Fulham as well. So there's your centre-back and there is your central midfielder. I don't think we're going to get there. I think we'll be looking to sell players to bring players in. It's a complete... It's not... it is a mess, but it's looking like we have got some sort of order to it in terms of the plan and what's going on. Like, I'd have loved to have been in on that meeting today and what they were saying to the staff and how they were approaching the rest of this season. Or how we're approaching not just the rest of the season, like, is this the end? Is this the last season for a lot of that Manchester United staff? That's what you've got to look at. Like, there's no hope for us in these last few games, I don't think, in the Premier League. The way the squad is, the attitude of the players, and knowing that this could be the end of the line, like, how professional can you expect Manchester United's players to be? Like, from what I've seen this season, I've got no hope. Like, I've got no hope that they're going to actually step it up, do anything more, give more. They're giving everything they possibly can, but it's just not working for them. And right now, I just feel like inside Manchester United, I think INEOS have looked at the situation. It's trying to balance sending the wrong sort of vibe and everything going a bit chaotic before the end of the season, and that filtering into the players and that affecting performance. It's balancing that with, we need to get things in place now, ready for the summer. I actually feel like INEOS, as much as they're supporting the rest of the season, I think they've written it off. I think they have to go into the summer. They have to already be planning for the summer. I'm going to get into your comments now, guys, so get your comments in, get ready in there. A lot of remote employees have been told to be office-based now. I love UK Garage. I always thought in previous seasons that Adidas would drop the sponsorship money after 2 consecutive seasons out of the Champions League. That's what I thought as well, but with the new deal being agreed last season, I think this is where it's changed. So, like I said, I don't think we're going to make the Champions League next season unless we go out and buy players that I don't think we're going to buy. I'm fully on board if we do, and then I will be convinced that we can do it, but I just don't. Cheers for that, Tommy. If you haven't checked out the latest podcast, the link is in the description, guys. United Couple, episode 2 was out on Monday. I know you probably all have watched it already. If you haven't, why? Danny Welbeck can come back, says Mark. Yeah. Honestly, I don't know which players we're going to buy. Like, again, I go back to it. Like, we've said it so many times. Like, I'm more interested and more invested in who is leaving Manchester United rather than who is going. And that's the honest truth. That's, like, where we're at right now. Like, we do all feel, I think, as a United fan base, that it's more important to make the space before we bring the players in. And then we can start looking at the players and the right players to bring into Manchester United. It's a real tough situation right now. And I think that INEOS have realised this. And I hate to say this, but I think everyone at United kind of knows that the season is over. Like, we've got the cup final and we'll concentrate on that. But as far as the Premier League goes, like, there's no hope at all. Absolutely no hope at all. Mike Ferguson in the chat. Adam, thanks for being there. When I split up with Amanda, you and Jay have sent me nice messages. Hope you're doing well, Mike. Hope everything is all right in your life. Big up, man, and keep your head up, buddy. Louise, we need another episode a week. It's too long a wait. Alex Core, big clubs and agents want to rinse United. No more of that shit. I would rather buy youth. I think that's where we're looking. Youth does come at a premium as well a lot of the time. Love the show and the podcast, boss. Keeping my week going. Thank you very much, Adam. We're always here every day. Jordan, you legend. How you doing, mate? Thanks for them donated memberships earlier on. Can you please stream Kaz Game live so we can have hundreds of additional fans? I wish I could. But yeah, we're looking after kids and all sorts, and it's like an impossibility, Jordan. Unfortunately, mate. I would love to, though, and bring it all to you guys. Yes, the podcast was great. If you have not seen it, I can recommend it. Thank you, Andrew. Anyone who wants to put that link in the chat there for everyone who's not seen it, you are more than welcome, and go for it, guys. Let's just see. What else have we got in here? Good luck to Kaz tonight, Adam. Thank you, Richard. Love that. Big love, Mike, from Ryan. Adam, now these players know they are out at the end of the season, do you think they will bother in the cup final? Your opinion, please. This is what I just said there in a little bit. In like INEOS have tried to balance actual news spreading and that sort of vibe going into the team and performances. It's like trying to keep the players interested in playing till the end of this season and be prepared for the summer. They've had to move quick, I think, because look, they have to be fully ready for the summer. It's a short one with the Euros. Obviously, we've got the tour, everything going on. I just feel like they need to be in position to go as soon as the summer starts. Like, as soon as that final whistle goes in the FA Cup, they need to be at work. And everything needs to be everything needs to be put in motion quickly. And if that has scared a few players now, then that's the sacrifice that INEOS probably were willing to take for this season. Like, it's only come out now, have you noticed, all of these big changes after it's become mathematically impossible to challenge for the Champions League. Now, I'm not saying that that is everything, but you kind of go thinking and you start putting two and two together and going, is that why? Is that why all of a sudden everything's happening? Like, Champions League is gone. Is that proof that Ten Hag is definitely going at the end of the season? You can look at it a lot of ways, really. It's like INEOS have not been able to get Dan Ashworth in place, so they're having to move pieces around to make sure they're in the best position in case he doesn't come in for the summer. And like I just said there, like now it's mathematically impossible to get the Champions League, and the riches and the bigger riches that come this year, it's just unlucky that we're not bleeding in it, and it's really annoying that we're not in it to get them riches while INEOS are in charge. Now they're having to cut costs, cut corners where they can. Certain players are just being rinsed out, and that's it. Like, every single player that's got 1 year left after this season is not going to get a new deal. They're going to get a new deal, but it's going to be a lot less than what they're on right now. And I think that's where these players now are starting to look at it and go, well, that's why we got the Bruno interview the other day and we got them noises coming out of him. And everybody else knows where they stand, I feel, player-wise right now. It's no coincidence that since INEOS have come in, we've started to hear a lot more straightforward news regarding players. Certain players that we thought weren't good enough, not getting renewed contracts, and they're now looking to move away. We're hearing players being linked away from United. It's the first time, like, we have got, how many first-team players? It was an interesting article from Samuel Luckhurst. The first time in a century that there hasn't been a new contract given to any player in a season, in the season. The first time in over a century that that's happened at Manchester United. That straight away tells you everything you need to know. INEOS were not in situ for the January transfer window. Let's not forget that. They did not give Erik ten Hag any money. They did not back him at all. And when you look through them financial figures, and you cannot hide away from it because they have to be released and everyone can read them, and when you read the financial fair play rules, and Manchester United said in January that they couldn't do it, ten Hag said he couldn't do it because of FFP, the financial experts said that that was a lie. United could have easily bought Ten Hag a player or brought someone in January. Like, the figures don't lie. These football finance experts know how financial fair play works, and they know what it takes to get a player out the door and what Manchester United could accomplish. I've gone through the financial fair play side of things so many times because everyone wants to ignore it or just go down the line of it's financial fair play, we can't do it, and not look into the detail. In the detail, it is a different story for Manchester United, and we could have backed Ten Hag in January, which is one of my red flags as to INEOS saying, see you later, Eric, time is up, no matter what happens. That's my look on that side of things anyway. Get your comments in, guys. Let me know what you think. Adam, would you be keen on bringing the youngsters to the first team if we're not going to spend? Could it be worse than this season in your opinion? I'm not keen on it, no, mate. I'm not saying, Stu, that it's not going to happen, but I'm a big believer in nursing the younger players through. I forever and a day said, look, if you're good enough, you're old enough, but to play consistently without a break and be let down mentally by a lot of the first team players, this has been a lot. It's been a lot for Mainu. It's been a lot for Garnacho. It's been a lot for Rasmus Højlund. I feel like them 3 players are on this so-called hit list, or not on the hit list as such, for players leaving this summer. The only players that apparently are safe at the football club. I feel like these are the only players that they've been let down big time by Manchester United senior players this season. Massively let down by the players you should expect to be putting in a performance. It's not fair on them, and the criticism that a couple of them are getting, mainly Garnacho and Højlund, is slightly unfair. Like, I didn't agree with what Garnacho did after the Bournemouth game. I thought that was out of order, and Ten Hag dealt with that right. No player should be doing what he did. And Højlund's criticism, like, honestly, we don't play the game that suits Rasmus Højlund. We don't. There's a lot of his game that he can improve, but let's not forget, he's 20-1. So the younger players coming through, yeah, I'm all for it, but it needs to be at the right time. Not rush straight in because we've sold a load of first-team players. I would take Isaac Victor, but we're not going to get him. Definitely not. The fact they are leaving, surely they would want to put themselves in the shop window for a good move. To be honest, I think it might make them perform better. Yeah, I'm glad you put that shock to Mosey, Louise, there. I just think they expect the agents to get in these deals now. I do. Like, what has happened to United, honestly? What has happened to United? I would actually sign players like Solanke as the second striker from a mid-table team who are Premier League proven. It's a good point, Prashant. Solanke has done excellent this season. I'd rather him than Martial, I'll tell you that. Adam, what do you think? What is your take on the debt and in which way it may limit us or hamper us or something like that? I'm thinking, Malu. The debt is always going to be there, and it is always going to hamper Manchester United. The problem you've got right now is don't expect that debt to move anywhere in the early years of INEOS's takeover and their running of Manchester United sporting side of things. It's just not going to move. It can't do because we're not going to be able to strengthen the squad and clear the debt at the same time. And that's a definite. So you look at that and you go, maybe in 5 or 6 years they may have a plan for that. Let's not forget we've got to buy a stadium or redo Old Trafford. Just expect the debt to be there for another decade is what I'm saying. How they can maybe put something in place and take a little bit off here and there, I don't know. I don't know if they will. I don't know if there's a plan for that. Maybe in the long term we will hear more about that. But honestly, like, I just would say to every Manchester United fan, don't expect Manchester United's debt to get any less. Maybe it will be less in terms of where we're at with the strength of the pound and stuff with the dollar and things like that. But in terms of actually paying into that debt, why would you expect INEOS to do that with the investment they're coming in with? They're not going to take away the Glazers' debt. They're not going to look straight away. If INEOS are positioning themselves for a full takeover, which we talked about earlier on today at lunchtime, if they're positioning themselves for that, then I do believe that they would look to try and get into that debt. I just don't see it in the short term. And while the Glazers are in situ, which man in his right mind, without full power of Manchester United investing into it, is going to try and take some of their debt away? They're not. They're going to invest in the part that they're running just to give themselves. And let's not forget, he has got a lot of shares now, Sir Jim Radcliffe. So if he does well, yes, the Glazers will do well. If the Glazers want to pull the plug on it, they have that financial security that they have to be bought out at the same as what they paid in, and they will have an option to buy Manchester United. Let's be honest, Glazers are not going to kick INEOS out. They have to sell to kick INEOS out, and if that came about, then INEOS would probably end up buying the Glazers' shares anyway. No one else was available. No one else bumped up the money. Yeah, the Qataris came in, but you know that Sir Jim Ratcliffe's going to give the Glazers more. So if the Glazers do pull the trigger on this deal with INEOS, it's a good thing for Man United fans because that means that the Glazers are gone. Let's not forget that. So in situ, everyone worried and concerned that the Glazers are still in power and they can pull the plug on INEOS like that. If they were pulling the plug, it means they're selling the club, guys. And they're gone completely. So why would you even stress about that? So, yeah, Sir Jim is in a strong position. He knows what he's doing. And he's in that slot where, yes, if the Glazers wanted to move him on, they could do, but it would mean selling the club. That's good for us. But Sir Jim is in a position where he can then start to reinvest even more, not reinvest, but invest more money into United and buy the Glazers out. He's in a position to buy the Glazers out. Like, United will be worth will be worth so much more money in the first 10 years of INEOS being at Manchester United, simply because of the infrastructure that they're looking to build. They are a more attractive buy with a new stadium or an enhanced capacity at Old Trafford or a new look Old Trafford. I do believe that Sir Jim will build a new stadium, though. He wants a new stadium. He wants it to be his legacy. Adam, do you think we will make the Europa League this season? Only if we win the FA Cup, I think, mate. I do believe that we're going to get pipped by Newcastle. Oh, it's horrible to say. Louise has just renewed her membership. Thank you, Louise. 3 months a member. 3 months YouTube official on the party bus. Love you guys. Love you too, Louise. Thank you so much for that. Guys, if you do want to be part of the membership crew, then drop into the description. There is a link there, or you can press the join button, which is just below the screen as well. I think if you press the pound sign at the bottom, the dollar sign, I think there's an option there for you guys as well. Let's just see what's this. Now, they're going to stay, dude. Just naive to think they're going. Well, I wouldn't worry about INEOS being kicked out then, because the only way INEOS get kicked out, mate, is by the Glazers selling. So, hey, let's not worry about it too much. If they're there, they're there. It's better than what it was. Can you imagine going into this chaos this summer without INEOS in charge? Can you imagine this player contract situation right now with Arnold, with Myrtle, the recruitment side? Oh, God. We just need to remember where we was coming into the start of last season and who was in charge of United and how it was being run. Let's remember that. Can you imagine? This season wouldn't have changed on the pitch. Like, everything that's happened on the pitch, it would have had no difference if INEOS were in or if it was just the Glazers. We know that's a definite. So, on that side of things, you have to look at it and go, well, at least we're in a better spot off the pitch. We haven't just got the Glazers in charge. That's what we have to look at as the positive in all of this. And yes, we are in a better place. You have to take that as a positive. But just to round things up, guys, it was a case of starting the show, talking about the importance of Barada and Jean-Claude Blanc, why they are moving fast, why they are moving forward, why they're risking the rest of this season. I personally think it's because we know it's mathematically impossible now to make the Champions League. INEOS are just saying, look, we're not going to lose or gain much more from what position we finish in the league. We need to start getting ourselves in position ready for this summer. So that's what I feel is happening right now. You could say it's because Dan Ashworth's not going to be there, that they're moving people in. Why would Stuart go? Why would they change the CFO as well? I think they just want to be in control and be as ready as possible for when the summer comes. Like, no more high wages. This stops now. Barada won't let this contract situation happen again. You cannot not be in the Champions League and have the third highest wage bill in all of bleeding Europe. It is an absolute disgrace at the way Manchester United have been run, and it needs sorting now, and that's what INEOS are doing. Look at it as a positive, guys. That's all I'm saying. But that is us done and finished, guys. It is a shorter show tonight, like I said at the start. Sorry, guys. I have to get going to go and watch Kaz's final. Wish us luck, everybody. Everyone, please like the video. Get us over 150. We're almost there. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. I will be back tomorrow live outside Old Trafford in the daytime, guys. We've got loads more content to bring you. And yeah, thank you again. New members, super chats, everyone in the chat, your comments. Anyone I've missed, please drop your comments in. When I get back later, we'll be going through quite a few of them as well, guys. And I'll bring them back up into tomorrow's show as well, if there is anything important that drops. But again, love you all. Give the video a like. Please do share the video and subscribe if you're tuning in for the first time. I will see you all tomorrow. Wish me luck. Kaz, here we go. This is the big game tonight. Let's do it. Come on.